Scroll down a little further, investigating all of the devices, and I found the 2021 version right here. What up, techies and gamers? It's your boy Jermaine back with another video. Welcome to my channel. If it's your first time, the channel where you can get your daily dose of tech entertainment, a little bit of technology, gaming technology, as well as crazy, zany entertainment, right? Because I'm a little off the edge of the building. And in today's video, we're going to be going over this new mouse that I was provided by the manufacturers called Havit, right? They provided me with a gaming mouse called the HV-MS733 gaming mouse. That's right, a wired RGB gaming mouse that is programmable and does come with software to program it, right? To program it as well as to manage your DPI settings, which is part of the programming, to manage your LED settings, right? Your RGB colors. Now, whether you're running a wireless gaming setup with a wireless mouse or a wired mouse, it's your preference, right? That's a thing of preferential matters, right? I myself have been using a wired Logitech RGB gaming mouse for quite some years, actually. I did try the wireless mouse, but I found that at times when I'm gaming in the wireless realm, I would run out of battery life and I'd have to plug it in the charger, or I forget to, and the mouse just goes stiff on me and I die tragically. So for me, for the most part, I prefer using wired gaming mice. So if that's you too, then you're in the right place, and I'm going to show you a mouse that comes in at a pretty decent budget, right, for this RGB gaming mouse. And how much does the mouse cost? Now for this mouse, you're going to save a few bucks because it is coming in at a hot $18.99, $19, just shy of $20, and you're going to get the full spectrum of the RGB gaming experience with this mouse, right? And we're going to go over what comes with this mouse, what it's packed with, the features, the hardware build, right, and how the software works, all of those things, and we'll cover that right now in this minute. If it's in this minute, 3, 2, 1, that's 3 seconds. 3 seconds in a minute.
What's wrong with your time?
Let's take it over to the experience, to the testing, in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Boom, here we go. We're going to test this together. Me, you, and Baby Yoda. Well, we know he's not Baby Yoda anymore, he's Grogu. With Grogu, right? This is the mouse, the Havit HV, don't get me to say those letters again, it's a lot of letters. The HV-MS, well, I guess HV for Havit, dash MS for mouse, and model 733, right? This is the exclusive little mouse that you are going to get for a hot $18.99, $19. Looks nice coming right out of the box, right? Of course, it is cabled. This cabling is actually of a material, feels like a canvas material, lanyard, I don't know. But very nice and sturdy. A little bit about the build, right? So right off of the bat, it is a standard size, maybe just a little bit larger than standard size mouse, right? Nice little rubbery grips. Not even rubbery, actually. This is more like a plastic, right? But it has plastic with like a texture to get a little bit of grip on it. Has your standard, of course, what would a mouse be without your left and right clicks? Scroll wheel, obviously, your RGB light, right, button, as well as your DPI control button. And over here on the left thumb side, you have your forward and backward button. Very smooth, not much in the way of textures along the top, right? It is pretty much kind of a matte black, and right here where the scroll wheel is and the 2 buttons is it's a cool shiny plastic right underneath the buttons. And right at the bottom, you have your Havit, the serial number of the mouse, and of course it's made in China, right? So right off the bat, nice impressions. This is all that you pretty much get in the box, aside from a set of instructions, which is basically to plug it in and, you know, what the DPI features are. We'll get into all that stuff just in a second. Another aspect of the build is that it is got a little bit more weight. Now, I have tested a Uhuru gaming mouse before. It was a little light on the back end. This one actually has some weight to it, right? I'm looking at it on the screen, don't mind my eyeballs twitching. You definitely know when you are clicking this mouse, it's not the quietest of clicks, not the loudest, but it clicks. What? Not too far of a way to go to actually make it click when you are clicking the 2 left and right buttons. The mouse wheel as well is clickable, right? So that actually compresses inward, but it does not go to left and right or forward and back, right? The scroll wheel itself it's got a nice little rubber grip right down the middle of it. So it's pretty soft to the touch. After gaming with it for a few hours, several hours, didn't get mouse fatigue, right? Scroll wheel fatigue. And of course you get your nice little Havit logo back there, right? That is the logo of the company itself. I find this logo kind of cool. It looks kind of like a bat, but it's actually a phoenix. In terms of features, I guess this is kind of features as well as hardware. There are 7 different types of lighting modes, lighting effects with this mouse that you can cycle through. You have your breathing mode, which is basically a singular light breathing in and out. You have your colorful stream mode. You have a rainbow mode, flow light mode. That one's kind of cool. Waltz mode and seasons mode, right? And of course you have your off mode. You just click it and it turns off. So those are the 7 modes, and those are the 7 modes. What else do you need to know? Another feature of this mouse is that it has 6 gears of DPI settings, starting from 800 all the way to 4800 DPI. That's right. So you can get a pretty good and fast speeds with this, as well as very slow. And with each click of the mouse out of box, without actually tinkering with the software, you're going to get 6 different DPI settings, starting from 800, from 800 to 1600 to 2400, 3200, 4000, and then 4800. So got a nice little selection of DPI there. I was using it around the 800 to 1000. After that, it was just flying on my Accord, even with a first-person shooter like Destiny, which I tested, which I'll show you in a second, right? Right, so with the front button, you switch your DPI settings, right? Clicking that will cause the mouse to flash a couple of times, right? And then you'll switch over to a different DPI, starting from 800, and then you click it again, it'll flash again, takes you to 1600. You click it again, and it takes you to 24, and so on, all the way up to 4800 DPI settings. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the setup, right? So plug and play, right? All you have to do is plug it in, installs the driver, and the mouse is ready to use, right? So technically, you wouldn't really need to use this with the software for it to be functional, right? You can pretty much manage most of it without the software. You can't get really granular and into it too much, but without the software, you can't really get deep down into the settings, change macros, or change the button layout or anything of that nature. You may need, I don't know, maybe you can find like a third-party software for that, but out of box, you can just use some of the basic functions, which is the back forward, changing the color modes. But if you did want to use a driver, you'd have to go to the website, which is the Havit.hk downloads page. So when you're on this page, you're gonna wanna go to the downloads page. And when you get to the downloads page, you will see the drivers for quite a few things. They have a nice lineup of products, a lot of gaming gear. So you might wanna check them out if you're looking to get some gaming gear. If you're looking to get some gaming gear and for pretty good prices, you might want to check them out. So anyway, on the drivers page, you would go down, and I mean way down, because there are a lot of devices. Tricky thing here now, there are 2 HV-MS733 gaming mouse drivers, right? One is old, one is new. So when I went to the page, I went to download it. I downloaded this first one here, which is the 1.0 Windows download, right? But when I downloaded it, I found that it wasn't compatible, at least not with the most current version of Windows. Maybe this was an older driver that was available. Scroll down a little further, investigating all of the devices. And as you go down, you'll see that it look like you're going to run into it, but then it switches back to mice again at the bottom. Here we go. and I found the 2021 version right here. So you're gonna want to download the MS733 version, right? This is the one you want in your life forever. But this is the one that actually worked. The first version it launched, it was fine, and the software home screen came up, but I couldn't click into anything. It just kept saying, trying to find the device, trying to find a device. So I waited and I waited and I fell asleep and it didn't come up. What? Now, Techies and Gamers, when you go ahead and download the actual driver, you're gonna see that it takes you to a Google splash screen to download, right? And you're gonna want to open it regardless because you don't have a choice, right? So funny way they have their driver set up, takes you to a Google page and you download it off of a Google Drive, and you'll see that it can't scan this device for drivers, but that's right, Techies and Gamers. I went ahead and downloaded it anyway, so I did it for you. So if my machine would have gotten corrupted and infected, then I would have made this video and let you know, beware. But all was safe, right? Now, when you first run that exe, you're gonna find that it gives you a Windows protection warning, right? So you go ahead and click more info and you click run anyway, and the application will run just fine. At least it ran just fine for me. Launched up, and this was the actual interface here, and it was the working software. And as you can see, the actual window, I'm able to now move it around. Before I couldn't actually move it or interact with any of the buttons without getting any response. So just to let you know ahead of time, if you're gonna get this mouse, this is the steps you have to take to actually download it and install it. A little tricky, but I just helped you out. Send me a check. Now in the software itself, you will see that there are lots and lots of goodies, right? Lots of features, right? You have the game mode, you have the advanced tab, light tab, and the macro tab where you can actually program some macros, right? So as you can see here, right on the actual advanced tab, you see where you can actually manipulate the DPI settings and how the colors are corresponding to each DPI setting. But if you click into one of those little color boxes over on the right side, you're gonna see that you can actually change the color for that DPI, right? And you can make the DPI whatever DPI you want it to be. And then over on the light tab, you have multiple settings for lighting as well, right? You can choose to enable the LED status or disable it. You have LED brightness, so you can turn it down to half brightness. And then down here, you have the LED modes where you can actually decide what you want the LEDs to do, right? You can set the LED mode to DPI. So in this DPI setting is where you can actually make the button turn to the specific DPI color over here on the advanced tab, right? So you can turn it to one of those colors. So when you hit the DPI button, it's gonna switch over to green, pink, blue, to the respective DPI setting you have. Click apply, and it works like butter and cream and mayonnaise. What? That's disgusting. And I will say that the actual response time of this is immaculate. Of course, why wouldn't it be? Because it is wired, right? So you don't have to worry about your response time. It is very fast, and you don't have to worry about your battery running out because you're wired, you're tethered forever, right? Maybe, I don't know. Looking at the game mode tab, you'll see that there are 6 buttons, which are the 6 buttons that correspond to the mouse itself. And with each of these buttons, you can set them to whatever mode you want. So all the buttons can do all the modes. So there is no distinguishing between what the right and left and the side, forward and back buttons can do. They are all available for every button. So if I wanted to set the DPI button to a button here on the left side, right, I can use that left click or up forward button to change DPI or to change the color or macros, you name it, any button, anything, anywhere. That's right, take your mouse on the train and use it. What? Now the beauty of playing with this mouse was that there weren't a lot of buttons to really get lost in, right? It's basically just 7 buttons, right? So your standard typical gaming mouse, nothing special, but also nothing cheap, really, nothing too basic. The response time is great, the aiming, the precision was fantastic, and one of the beauties of being able to play with the mouse is that whip around time. So when you're trying to whip around to a target that's right behind you, you can do it in no seconds flat, especially with having a high DPI setting. But there's a couple of things that could use some improvement, right? So I guess the main thing that really concerned me mostly, the actual panels here on the side where you wrap your fingers around the mouse, right? Your thumb grip, as well as your little, I guess your 2-3 fingers over here on the side. They are plastic. I found that it was a little slippery. I couldn't really get a good grip. Maybe it's just that I have these long, skinny fingers, but it would have helped if there was some kind of, I don't know, maybe this was made of like a kind of rubber or latex, right? Just to get a better grasp on it. Hi, Techers and Gamers, that's all I got for you in this video. Thanks for watching, thanks for stopping by and checking out this yet another review of a gaming device, right? A gaming mouse. If you're interested, link in the description. Go ahead, check it out. For less than $20, you get pretty good bang for your buck, in my opinion. I would definitely give this out of 5 stars, 6 stars, because for the price, you're getting a pretty good device. See what I did there? I rhymed twice. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Me and Grogu, we're gonna go back, play some Street Fighter. Maybe I'll play some Destiny. Like I always say, he's always trying to take my device.